Hello, dear children. Today I am going to explain you Lesson 2, A Light for the Palace Fire, of your English literature book. Dear children, I am going to tell you this story in my own words and later you can read it from your book word by word. So here I am going to start telling the story and you all listen to it very carefully. Children, a long time back, there was a huge palace at the top of a hill. Huge palace means big palace. So there was a big palace at the top of a hill. Since at that time there was no electricity, so a fire was always burning in the palace to give light. And it also kept the palace warm. So that was why it was considered as the most useful fire in the palace. One day, the fire suddenly stopped burning because the coal was finished. So some people thought that the fire had died out because in the palace some people were quarreling all the time. Quarreling means fighting all the time. And some other people thought that it had happened so due to the extremely cold weather. So everyone in the palace was freezing due to cold and longed for the fire to burn again. Longed for means wished for the fire to burn again. So now the king ordered his messenger to take the help from the people living down the hill and ask for some embers to bring back to burn fire in the palace. Dear children, here embers means a small piece of burning coal or glowing coal or wood that is put in a dying fire. So the messenger, with a big iron lantern in his hand, left the palace in the bitter cold. Children, lantern is a lamp for holding coal with a handle to carry it around. As he was walking down the hill, he kept asking the people if anybody would help him and give him some coal to light the palace fire. Then a man came forward for his help. He offered him some glowing coal and told the messenger to tell the king to convey the king that he wanted gold pieces in return for that glowing coal. The messenger promised him that he would convey his message to the king and then he put the burning coal inside his lantern and started going back towards the palace. After he had walked a few steps, he found that the coal had turned cold and grey, and he threw it away, and now he had to ask for help once again. Now, this time, a woman called Gina gave him some coal, and in return, she wanted the king to make her father the captain of the guards. The messenger promised her that he would convey her message to the king and then he put the coal inside his lantern and then set off for the palace. But soon he saw that this time also the coal was not burning and turned into grey ash. So he threw it and again set off in search of some coal for the palace fire. At last he saw one cottage and knocked the door, and it was opened at once. He saw a little girl inside the cottage who was stirring the porridge over a small fire. The messenger asked her if she could help him and give some burning coal for the palace fire. She told him that he could take as much coal as he liked. She requested him to take some rest before he started out in such a bitter cold once again. She also offered him a bowl of porridge. Then she offered him half of her fire. The messenger took a small bright coal from the fire and put it in his lantern. The messenger then set off for the palace, thinking that the coal would never burn. It would also turn cold and grey. But what did he notice? He noticed that with each step he took, the coal grew brighter and brighter, and it was shining like a sun. It lit up the road that was dark, and it warmed him also. When he reached the palace, the coal was still glowing. Glowing means shining, and it was burning also. He put that burning coal in the fireplace, and as soon as it touched the grey logs, they burst into flames. Now, once again, there was fire burning in the palace, and the palace folk was again getting light and warmth. Children, palace folk here means the people who lived in the palace. They realized that it became possible only and only because of the selfless love of that little girl that had come with the coal. So, dear children, selfless love here refers to selfless services. So, the message that we get from this story is that we should always be ready to offer our selfless love and selfless services towards the society for the welfare of the society. For example, children, nowadays we are going through very tough times due to coronavirus. So we should, in these tough times, offer our selfless services towards the society. We should offer our selfless services to help the needy and the poor people in our neighborhood and in our society. While helping them, we should maintain social distancing. That is very, very important. So, dear children, take care of yourself, stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much. Bye bye.